So now that we have seen the introductory video, we'll jump straight into our application and we can access it to this given URL over here. As you can see, this is the database facilitator wherein we provide the database solutions and make it hassle-free and independent of the application development. The main purpose of this database facilitator is to make sure that the application developers can get their databases set up in less than 5 seconds, as you can see over here. And we are trying to make it as hassle free as possible, and also we can manage multiple databases for the same user. Now the process that we follow is whenever a user or an application developer wants to set up their own database, all they have to do is follow this URL and click up on sign up now. Here you can just set up your own email address and user account on our website, and we can just test it by using some random email addresses. I'll use my name over here right now. So it's Nikhil @gmail.com. And we have created our user account over here. This is the code that we have written in order to create the user account as shown in the previous step, and as you can see over here, the user account has been encoded using these steps that we have written, and the encode method as can be found over here, which uses a 64-bit encryption to make sure that the username and password are secure and not public. So once you have created the user, the next step is to actually create the database, and you can just do that by creating the database over here. So when we click on create a database, it asks us to enter a name for our database. And we can just give any database name, create a database. And so we have created a database, and we can use the DB link or view the DB link as given over here. You can see that the username is not what we provided, and it is encoded over here. Even the password has been encoded so that it uses a security aspect. And so even if you put this in a URL, it's not that anyone can pick a username or password. Now the code that we have written for creating the database is as follows. So as you can see, once we have created the user, then we are using a API post call method wherein we are passing the database name. And when we use this API post call method, it redirects us to this method that we have created over here, API post call, and wherein we go to this URL wherein we use the web service in order to create a database, and it uses a post as JSON async in order to create a database and fetch the database details. This code can be seen from this REST file over here, wherein this void post from database name is actually fetching the database name that we called from this method over here, and it then uses us to create a database and the generated name that we entered through our website. It then helps us to create the user along with the password for the given database, and it gives us the rights to alter the roles for the database and create different database with different owners, and give them rights to create table or select or insert or different rights on the database. And that is how we can sort of create a database and also provide the security for the database. So once we have created a database, this is the link that we get for our database that we have created. We can basically use this link and just paste this link in the web.config file in any of the application that we have developed over here, this link over here, and we can just copy that link and paste it over here, and we are all set to use the database for application. So that is it about database facilitator, and it is an easy to use solution that we thought of providing because this is the common problem that people face, in setting up a databases, and it takes around a big chunk of a developer's time initially to set up the database and create a database and modify the database. And so we thought of developing something like this just to make sure that we reduce the load on the application developers. And just if you want to see if the web service is working fine, we can just see that by accessing this following link. So once we click on this link, we just copy this link and use it over here to check if the web service is working fine. And here we go, that the web app has been created successfully. So we have used XML in the connection string that we get. So this is in XML format, and we have used JSON in order to post as JSON async in order to make sure that the web service is used to create a database details and give it back to the application. So we have basically made sure that the database management is handled by the API, and this API is used to create a database, create the username, password for the database, add role, and grant access. This is to make sure that we are decoupling the user management and database functionalities and provide security as well. So that was the overview of our application, and thank you.